Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a plan with me and my Hobonichi weeks for the week of February 25th through March 3rd. So here's what I'm using this week. I'm using this Muji pen. I did take the label off of the pen because I didn't like the way that it looked, but this is more or less what the label looks like, though the barcode might be different because these are two different pens. This one here is a black pen and this one here is a navy blue pen, which I thought I would try out this time. And this is in the 0.38 tip ink, again navy blue, and it's just the round circular barrel gel pen that Muji sells. And then I'm using these three washi. So this dumpling washi is from Wonton in a Million, and actually this confetti washi is also from Wonton a Million. This I think is one of her like original washis, and also a washi that I think it's not limited. I think you can find it on her website or on her shop site. I think it's still there. I will leave a link to it below if it is still available. This one, I don't know. The confetti, I don't know if it's part of a, if it's limited or not. It was originally part of, I think, her circus set from last year. I know I've had it for a while. And then this is Simply Gilded's 5mm bow washi in white with gold hollow. Not gold hollow, what am I talking about? Gold foil, which is limited only in the sense that she doesn't currently have any in stock, but I think with some of the neutral colors, the neutral color bows, Irene from Simply Gilded seems like she does try to restock regularly because she knows that there is a demand for it. Simply Gilded is actually doing a pre-sale this week. It is for, I think she calls it her quarterly pre-sale, the February pre-sale, and basically it started on Friday, and I think it'll last either through Thursday or maybe into Friday. You'd have to check the website. I'll leave that information down below. And basically it's a pre-sale, so there's an unlimited purchase amount. You can buy as many washi as you want in whatever colors and designs that are available. Two kind of important things to note. One, she only has mock-ups of the washi on pre-sale, so you won't actually get to see what it looks like in person. Sometimes there is a little bit of color difference with some of the colors, and also I find it especially hard to see from the mock-up what a rose gold foil looks like in person. To me, it looks kind of dark and coppery, and then, you know, in person, there's that shine from the foil. So that's the first thing about pre-sales. And then the second thing about pre-sales is that she has a bunch of rules that you have to agree to, which is basically that a pre-sale, because she's getting the total amount of washi that people are interested in, that people have purchased before they are actually made, that it will take 2 to 3 months before you actually receive your washi. So that is another thing. You are purchasing now and probably not going to be getting it until, I think she said she would not answer any emails about shipping washi being shipped until the end of May. So keep that in mind. You may not, you order now, but you would not get your washi until probably sometime in May. So if that's too long of a wait for you, then pre-sale is probably not the way to go. However, it is definitely less stressful, and it is a good way to try out some of her items without feeling like you have to have fast fingers in order to get the washi before it's sold out on some of the ready to ship days. So just as a heads up, if you were thinking about trying Simply Gilded washi but like could never get to the website during the time where it was being sold, here's the chance for a pre-sale. And then obviously, just so everybody knows, I am not affiliated with Irene in any way or Simply Gilded in any way. I just like her washi and I use a lot of it on my channel, so I wanted to let people know about the pre-sale in case you're interested in purchasing any. All right, so here is a look at my spread from last week, which I did use some Simply Gilded washi along with some headers and one of these label stickers that were left over from different kits. I did, there was a readathon this weekend, but honestly, I didn't really participate in it. But here you can kind of see how things have been going for me. I haven't done any journaling this week, which is kind of bad on my part, but I just feel like I've been super busy. All right, so the plan for this week is that I'm going to lay this washi down, and then I'm probably gonna outline the boxes. I think, did I mention this before? I feel like sometimes I'm repetitive, but since I'm dividing the boxes this way horizontally, I feel like I need to outline everything. Otherwise, it's very jarring to just have a single horizontal line going through part of the page if nothing else is highlighted. So let's see, before I do that, I'm gonna try the 5mm just above. This is actually gonna be the first time I'm using this white 5mm. I think I swatched it, but not actually used it. One of the things I was thinking about is wanting to use more of my washi more regularly, because I do have a collection of washi and I don't want to just hoard it. I want to actually use it, because that's what stationery is for. It's meant to be used. So yeah, here I am using the washi. I really like, I think I've mentioned this before that, oh, I think I mentioned this in my flip through, that I am, while I like that, so Cynthia is the name of the shop owner from Wonton in a Million, and while I really like that she has taken something like dumplings and dim sum and really kind of made it into a thing, and it's a very unique character from all other like planner stickers, I don't really like the dumplings and dim sum characters doing things, like when they're actually like, you know, like doing laundry and stuff like that. To me, that just seems a little bit strange. However, I do really like the washi, not the washi, I do really like the characters when they're just kind of existing. So this rainbow washi here is probably like my absolute favorite of the Wonton in a Million washi, because they are just existing. They're just happy little dumpling and dim sum characters with rainbow, which is always cute. So I had originally gotten a sample of this, so I believe, I don't know if she's still doing it, but at the time when I purchased this a couple years ago, she had, I think, had this rainbow washi and some of her other kind of standard basic washi out, and she was offering samples. And so I had gotten this sample along with a couple other ones, and I just really loved it so much that I wanted to go ahead and get the whole roll. And then I thought that this confetti was really unique, because at the time all I had was a lot of Simply Gilded stuff, and then this one is like white with polka dots, and it has silver foiling, so I am mixing metals, but you know, it doesn't really bother me. I like mixing metals, at least in my planner. Okay, so I'm about finished with this, and we'll move on to my plans afterwards. So this week, just to kind of give you a little wrap up, was fairly busy for me. Let's see what happened this week. So I had a lot of like planning to do for school, because I'm teaching a class where I'm not as familiar with the material. And then, so on Thursday, there was a poetry workshop that one of the teachers was hosting at our school. I always do this. I lay this down and then I'm like, I have to outline everything. One day I will learn, but not today. So the teacher did the poetry workshop and it was nice. I learned a lot in the sense that I feel like as a teacher, I would be more comfortable giving my students poetry. I think before I was so kind of concerned about giving them like really well-known poetry that I was a little intimidated. Intimidated in the sense that I knew that students may not react well to it. Like, you know, poetry is difficult, and then as an English language learner, maybe poetry is even more difficult. I'm having a lot of trouble with this today, hold on. And so okay, so it is about in the same spot. So I was pleasantly surprised to kind of be told or reminded that you don't have to give students a like really, not deep, but a really like traditional poem, right? Like, you know, when I think of poetry, I think of Robert Frost and Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes and stuff. And while these are all great poets, and I think something that the students should be exposed to at one point, you can approach poetry with them, especially when they're a lower level of English ability, with easier poems, and then providing the poem so that they can use the syntax and structure of the poem in order to create their own poetry. And so she read the original poems, and then she read the poems that students created, and some of them were very similar to the original, like they were using basically the same sentence structure and just changing the like subject matter, which is fine because they're learning English, and I think that's a good way for them to practice, like, you know, how words can be combined and used and make sense. But then also some students really took it to the next level and created their own poems out of it. And I think it was just really cool because like we know these students, and so hearing the poems that they've created, when you're just like, wow, that's really quite amazing. So that was really neat. It wasn't attended, there wasn't a lot of people. I guess you could call it more of an intimate, small group. And I kind of wish more people had attended, but I think in and of itself, it was a nice situation. All right, let's see if I can do this right-handed. I'm actually not ambidextrous. I don't think so when it comes to writing and using utensils, but I use my left hand for everything. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. I do not use my left hand for everything. I use my left hand predominantly for writing and for doing tasks that require big muscle movement. So I do not play an instrument. However, if I were to play an instrument, I would like use my left hand. So like if I were to play the guitar, I would do a lot of the strumming with the left hand. If I were to play a violin or any sort of like instrument that needs a bow, the bow would be in my left hand, which I think surprised a lot of people. And that's also why I don't play instruments, because I could never, in addition to like not having the money during when I was growing up to have it play an instrument, I think it was also confusing for people, because I was like, I would always take the guitar or the violin and want to put it into my other hand. All right, so I'm rambling. I apologize about that, but hopefully that keeps you a little bit entertained as we are filling out these lines. Oh, so to go back to the ambidextrous, or like using left-handed or right-handed, I would use my left hand for like big major muscle tasks. But then like things that are pretty standard for a right-hander, and like you use right-handed tools, so like scissors, what else is, you know, things that you would normally do with your right hand because the tools are designed that way, or the tools are designed that way because most people are right-handed, I would use my right hand for. So like I said, scissors, cutting, that sort of thing. But writing, I've never really practiced with my right hand. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in what I'm doing this week. So for this part, since I'm just writing and it needs a little bit more focus, I'm gonna speed this part up. Okay, that is what I have so far for this week. So basically I put my hours in. Hours stay the same every week for me. However, I like to have it written down in case I need to reference back when I'm entering hours. And then also when I look back on previous weeks, I can see what hours I worked. Sometimes if I sub hours, I'll add that in afterwards. I'm pretty sure it's not official yet, like it hasn't been sent out to us, but every 4 weeks right before the end of the term, we have a teacher's meeting. So I'm assuming the same is going to happen this week. And then there is an end of term party for us this Friday. I'm a little bit nervous about this end of term party because it's a potluck, so it requires people to bring stuff, and we don't have a very strong culture of students participating in the end of term party, so I don't know how that's going to work. Part of that kind of lack of participation is because our end of term party is at 3:30, and a lot of students, their last class ends at 2:30 or 2:15. So, you know, half the school has to hang around if they're interested in staying for this party. And those half usually don't, unless they have friends that stay until have an extra class and stay longer. Okay, on this side, it's going to be fairly simple. I'm going to have washi going across. I have been liking, that doesn't really make sense. I've liked how I've been putting all the to-dos all together in a box at the very top and just giving myself space for that. So I really like how that's turned out. So I'm going to continue with the to-dos up here. I do have progress reports that I need to work on this week. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take, I'm thinking I might do, so this is that reusable sticker book that I got last year that has all these extra stickers in them. And I'm thinking I might do like one of these. I like this peachy color one. Does peach fit? Or does the pink? I guess the pink fits a little bit better. I'm gonna use the purple and the pink. And I'm gonna use this as my header. So I'll put this one at the top. I left my tweezers in the other room. So now I'm just trying to see where it goes and put it down. Someone commented that they also have to use tweezers in order to see stickers when they put down, and they're a lefty, and I was like, oh good, it's not just me. See, as a right-hander, if I'm trying to lay this down, it's so much easier than as a left-hander. I don't know if it's so much the crookedness that's bothering me as just the frustration of not being able to put it down smoothly with my right hand. So I don't know. Okay, so this is going to be my to-dos, and then this is going to be progress reports. And I almost ran out of space, but that'll be okay. All right, I should have moved the progress over further. All right, whatever. And then let's see. So for progress reports, I have one student. I have 4 students in one class. Okay, so then I'll put the student's name, and then next to their name, we will do whether or not they need reading, writing, listening, speaking. I'm gonna speed this part up. All right, and then for this last part where I'm going to do tracking, I'm gonna put that here. So definitely need to do some tracking this week because last week was not as consistent. So again, just making sure that I'm learning habits slowly. All right, so let's see. Maybe I will use, I could go hot pink. Do you think that, I have this hot pink one. Is that too much? That might be too much. Nah, let's go for it. I don't get to use these stickers very often, so let's go ahead and use them when I can. It is glossy, so it's a little bit different. I'm not sure how it's gonna work with this pen. Not that good, but oh well. Okay, things I'm tracking this week. Okay, so here's what I'm tracking for this week: meditation, journaling, reading, vitamins, and then the last thing I've changed, instead of doing crosswords, which is what I've been writing, I decided to do puzzles. So that way, because I usually do crosswords during the weekdays when I grab the local newspaper and I do the crossword puzzle and that. So I was thinking that on the weekends, since I don't get a newspaper, then I could either do a crossword on my own, or I could do something like an actual jigsaw puzzle or playing a game or something. So to me, puzzle just seems a little bit more general and better suited. All right, so this is my layout for this week. Some small changes, some similarities from last week, small changes, and then also different washi, different things happening. I hope that you all have a very good week. I will talk to you in the next video and in the comments below. All right, so here is what my final spread looks like. I will give you one final close-up. So as you can see, there's a little bit of foiling and that top confetti washi, and then the gold foiling from the bows. There it is. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you in my next video. Have a great day, everybody, and a great week. Bye.